Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is the Prince of FNAF, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing, and also be sure to hit that notification bell. That way, you'll indeed be notified for any awesome videos like this in the future. The Batman is a 2022 DC film starring Robert Pattinson, Zoe Cravats, and Paul Dano. In this darker and much grimmer Batman film, we join Bruce Wayne, aka the Batman, as he struggles to fight his inner demons while looking for a psychotic killer who seems to leave behind grim and cryptic riddles. Now, granted, I know I say this a lot about movies because I usually go in with an open mind and expecting to have fun. But this movie, I really enjoyed it. In fact, I don't like Batman and I don't like DC. I never really cared enough about DC to like DC, if that makes sense. But this movie is a masterpiece. This movie is one of the best films I've seen in quite a long time, and I can say no bad things about this film. With the stunning cast, the awesome cinematography, even the music makes this movie feel more like an experience than an actual film. And even this movie's opening scene is just subliminal masterpiece and art, to say the least. We open up with Batman having a monologue about how he affects the city and its crime, and that whenever the bat signal is in the sky, it's not just a beacon of hope, but a warning. And we see just how this affects the criminals, which there are a lot of in Gotham City, as whenever they see the bat signal, they all go in fear, looking into the dark crevices for Batman to appear, but he never does. And so they all just freak out and start running away. Whatever crime they're doing, it doesn't matter because they know Batman is coming. Like, that is such masterful art. And it's even the things they don't say. If you needed any more proof that this is a masterpiece of a movie, then look no further to things that characters don't even say, but is shown through the very, very nicely placed cinematography. It could be a scene of Batman and Selina Kyle on motorcycles driving together, racing against each other, and then when Batman is given a choice to either go with Selina Kyle or to defend the city, and it's just that crossroad, no talking, just music and just the choices. And Batman chooses to go back to the city, even though he knows it could be a lost cause. It's just such massive art. No talking. Just moment. A tender moment between the cinematography and just the actors themselves. No dialogue. Or the scene where Alfred is by himself and he's in the big Wayne Manor mansion. Batman's out fighting crime, and he gets a very creepy, eerie letter from the Riddler that says, "For the Batman." Now, obviously, Alfred knows the kind of stuff Bruce Wayne's into, being his surrogate father. So he takes the risk by opening a letter that says explicitly, "For the Batman." And when he opens it, he takes full force of the bomb, literally and figuratively, because that is how much he cares about his surrogate son. Right there, things where the characters are not even talking. The movie doesn't flat out explain it to you like you're a dumbass, like in most films. The movie would rather use its excellent cinematography to show you with no dialogue. And running at nearly 3 hours long, the movie never feels like it's droning on. It's so well written that even if Batman isn't chasing the Penguin through the streets of Gotham City while there's a big pileup of cars and explosions, it still feels that well written enough that you feel invested in the character's more human aspects. And that is well writing. The movie takes place in a world where criminals and crime is rampant. And with that arises the Riddler, this sadistic villain who goes around murdering people, and at the scene of the crime, he leaves a creepy and eerie riddle. And so Batman and Commissioner Gordon team up to try to track this guy down. And when Batman stumbles across Catwoman, she is added to the fray, and we actually get some really good acting from Zoe Cravats, and she does a great job as Catwoman, who in the comic books and even in some of the movies was never really a villain. Yeah, she did bad stuff, but she was never to the same degree as some of the gang bosses and some of the more harder hitting villains within the comic books and some of the other movies. And when the time finally comes for the Riddler to be revealed and his identity to be out there, it comes as a shock when not only the characters, Batman, Catwoman, and Commissioner Gordon, realize that it's just a young teenage boy, but it also shocks the audience because it shows that this dude, being as young as he is, was able to commit violent acts of terrorism and torture to people he'd never even met, and that he is obviously quite unhinged because they put him in jail, and he reveals that it isn't over. He placed several bombs around the border of Gotham City, and it's going to flood and destroy the city. And obviously, at this point, everyone's thinking, oh, Batman is not going to let that happen. He's going to save the city. Batman does not save the city. Batman saves the people within the city. And it even shows moments like this that the hero can't always save the city just because he's a hero, but he can still try to do the right thing. And even though the Riddler's plan failed and the city was mostly destroyed by the flooding, Batman is still a hero because he saved a lot of people that could have died during the flooding of Gotham City. And that, my friends, is just, again, really brilliant writing. But this was my review of the Batman. I tried to keep it as short as possible. I didn't try to reveal too much of the movie's plot because I encourage you guys to actually sit and watch this movie because it's just such a great film, both visually and just the way they dealt with all of their aspects in their movie. Like I said before, it's a work of true art. And with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. Do take care, have a great night, and I'll see you guys in the next video, whenever that may be.